it up. Kilobytes per second looks good. Bitrate looks good. Live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Amber Skies, and yes, we are the future of 3D networking. And today, well, sorry, I'm Blades. Hi. And today is day 16. 4 weeks into the project, a couple of hours per day, average of 2 hours per day. And I haven't done anything since yesterday. I haven't switched the computer back on. I haven't reloaded or done anything at all. I didn't touch it on purpose because today we are here. Day 16. Dun dun dun. Asterix, asterix, asterix. First dry run of P1, P2, P3, 3 programs, 2 libraries that we've written in the 4 weeks. 3 programs and 2 libraries. Wow. That's some going, isn't it? Day 15 went quite well, I think. Not sure how well it went. I've had some I have reservations about some of the things I did and some of the things I put in place, but hey ho, we'll see if it works. Shouldn't, but it might. But there we go. Let's get started, I suppose. Oh dear. Oh my. I've got a good cup of coffee, so I'm not going to be stressed. That's good news. Oh, at least I'm relaxed about all of this at last. Let's have a look. Have I got the code here somewhere? I have. As you can see, I haven't even started it. Right, I'm not going to look at the code at all. I'm just going to go to the run screen. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our 3 programs and do them in P1, P2, P3. Which order did do them in? Let's just have a quick look. So P1 is display, server, GUI. Run order, display, server, GUI. Let's try it out, shall we? This is the moment when it shouldn't work. I'm nervous. Okay, display. Run, you little bugger. I hope it does. I hope we get a display. Okay. We have a display. Well, I'll put the display to the right. Here we go. This is our display. It says it's working on there. I'll get rid of that. Actually, no, I'll just pop it above there. Okay. What's next? Server. We should only get a little diddy thingy for that, shouldn't we? There we go. It says now the server is application constructed. Yeah. Okay. Anything happen over here? Nothing. Okay. That's fine. We'll just pop you on. I have to pop you here so that I can click on you. Okay. Can you see that? Yeah, you've got the readout there. So yeah, we're all right. So that's the server. What about the GUI? Does that work? GUI. Run. Yep, that's the GUI. It's running. So here's the GUI. Let's pop these up. One connected. What's happened to our bloke? Yeah, it's worked. Jesus. But what happened to our little bloke? I know what's happened to our little bloke. He's buggered off. Bob's run away. He said, no, I don't want to play. But he's there. It's worked. I don't know if I can actually do any controls here. No. So we have users connected. We've got no readout of where Bob is, which is unfortunate. With Bob being on the display, we don't have any readouts. Right, but we need to know where he's gone. sounds silly. I want to know at what point he disappeared as well. And the way we close it down is we close this one first. So we close that. You see, closes that there, closes that there. Bob hasn't come back. And then we close that there. So it closes down in the right order. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, that is fantastic. Everything runs. And Bob ran away. So yes, he obviously got told to run away. Alright, so I think I set in the server that he was to run off to such and such a place. I have no idea where such and such a place is, so let's go and have a look at our server. Ah, bless. So let's re-implement what our server originally did. Because obviously he's telling him to run like mad. VS Code server source. Let's get rid of this. Thank you. I'm quite pleased at that. So everything starts up and Bob does a runner. Fantastic. I mean, what have we told it to do? There we go. That's what we did there. Those were the alterations that we did there. So what we're going to do now is just read them properly from the GUI. Right, why is it in error? Why can't you read? Okay. A rep blah 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 a re-app SDLnet read 32 cannot go to a float position X. What can you go to? I don't know. Is the answer? Yeah. It's that equal sign that's a problem. Position X is a float equals hash definition. Great. That doesn't tell me anything, does it? I thought it read into a float. Do I have to static cast it? And raw data is what? It's a uint. That's an address of a piece, well, the start point of a piece of data, and it's reading 32-bit. And it's then passing it out and making a mess somehow. SDLnet read 32. Okay. Let's find out what's going on there. Oh, I've already got one open. Oops. Escape. Sorry. So it's why did I just cover it up? So it's this instruction here, please. Copy. Paste. And just press return. Here we go. uint 32. The pointer into a data buffer at which to get the number from. Get a 32-bit, a long 32-bit systems, value from the data buffer area, which is a network byte order. Yeah, this helps avoid differences between two systems talking over networks. The return value can be a signed number. The unsigned parameter type doesn't affect the data. The area point, so they put a uint32 number to it. And then number equals. So I'm going to have to do a static cast to float. Okay. Fine. Okay, so now I need here a static cast to a float. And then just put it all in there. Like that. Will that work now? That's interesting. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. What am I reading? Message type 5. Is an int. So that's why it's not working. Because I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Is the answer. That's not a float. That should be an int. Position X. It's in pixels. You can't have half a pixel. Int, and we'll just call it uint32 then, won't we? Uint32. There you go, that's okay, that's legal. Uint32. That's what it tells me to do. Now why won't you work? You will, because that's what it says. Yeah, uint32 number equals SDLNet read 32 and the pointer. Is it the ampersand sign? That is a pointer. That's the address. Well, isn't that the address? What is wrong with this? I don't understand. It's not liking anything here. Area pointer. I'm sure it was ampersand sign in there. Never mind. Oh. Blades has to think. When Blades thinks, oh, his head caves in. Don't think, Blades, just do. Does that compile? Well, no, because that's wrong now. Game state data, add user. MMO data, game state, add user. Yeah, int x, y, x. So I just need int x, y, x. Okay. Yeah, that's an int. We'll just call it an int, I don't care. It's going to give me that underscorey thingy no matter what I do by the looks of it. I mean, it is Microsoft after all. Can we do it, or will it not? Will it tell us if I try to build it? Are you going to tell us here? Yeah. Raw data was not declared in this scope. Raw data was not declared. Char star raw data equals that. Okay. Char star raw data equals. Why have we got it? Oh, that was right. Yeah, we had to cancel it, didn't we? That's why. Doop. Found it. I've actually just taken it out, so it wasn't going to interfere. Action on message log on. Okay. Don't need that. That's just notes. We can get rid of those now, can't we? Because we haven't got it. That's a foreshadowing, I think they call those lines there. Could pass the net and data action on message class. Okay, yeah, I suppose it is. Message type is a value between 0 and 255. Okay, thank you. I'll keep that. on build task. Server. I don't know where Bob... What's going to happen to Bob? Okay, shall we find out what happens to Bob? I think we should. Now we've put things back to how they should be on the server, and it's reading the data through on action 5, because it was on 2 and 0. I don't think we're receiving the action 0, are we? We need to put that in. Okay. Yeah, it comes on there. Okay, that's alright. We need to tag some more in. We need to put some more functionality in our server to make the display turn off if it closes down. Alright, I've had enough of looking at that. I just wanted to replace a functionality that we originally had, so I haven't broken the rules. So, using the original functionality of the server, now what happens? Everything crashes, go on. So display first. Alright, so there's our Bob. We can see Bob. Now this time I'm not going to keep him on the screen, I'm going to just put him off to one side so I can see what happens. I'll keep that halfway on. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see that. Okay. Back over here. You see how it automatically brings this forward, unfortunately. We're going to put the server up. Okay, let's pop the server up. Server seems to be doing okay. Bob's still in the centre of the screen, by the way. I can see that. I'll pop. Oh, damn! I did it. I knew that I was going to do that at some point. Try there. No. I'll put it up a bit to there, please. Yeah, that'll do it. I'll be able to click on it from there. Oop, not that one. That one. Right, so our server is up and constructed. Our application is there, and Bob is happily in the centre of our screen. Yay! Bob, you're here! What will happen to him? What will happen to him? I'm going to watch that when I click on the button for the GUI. And the graphical user interface, go. Oh. Bob's on. He's working. Can we actually... Oh, I pressed the button and he disappeared. Come back, Bob, come back. Oh, Bob, what was happening to you? You were doing so well. Bob, what were you doing, actually? You were moving across the screen very slowly. Interesting. Oh, can't close that when you see properly. Blast it. You have to close this one to do it properly. Okay. Right, so Bob works. We have a working server using 3 programs and 2 static libraries. And it works. Sort of. Let's just try that. I want to try that again. That was awesome. So it was display first. Click. There's Bob. Bob's nice. We'll keep you here. So at least you can try and see it. There we go. Next one up. Server. This is awesome. I don't believe this is working. So there's your server. There's that. And there's Bobby's happily sat in the middle of the screen not doing anything. I know what's happening, but it's quite funny. So let's do the GUI. So now, when we put the GUI up, the GUI is in control of the whole system, remember? Well, not in control of the whole system, it's in control of all of the inputs for the system. The server is in control of the system, and the display is just being told what to do. It's dumb. The display is a bit dumb. And I can't show you when it happens, I don't think. Oh. No, I made him disappear by altering it. Damn it. Damn it. Can I get him back? Can I get him back? Can I get Bob back? Can I put Bob back up at the end? Display. Just try. Come on, Bob. Bob, Bob, Bob. No, I can't get him back. Oh, I messed it up. Oh, blast. Try again. Display. Shh. I'm having fun. Come on, Bob. Server. Come on, server. Don't try and drag Bob across too quickly. He'll do a runner. He doesn't like to be seen, you see. Bob is private. We decided he's very private and he doesn't like to be seen. What was that one I just put up? MMO server, yeah. So, GUI. Now watch what happens to Bob. There he is. He's on his way now. Shh. Don't shout too loud. There he is. There's, oh, sugar, that was a micro. Oh, it disappeared. There you go. He got to 255 and went blink. So he went from 0, he started going across to 255, and at 255 he just plinks out. Which means, yeah, we've got a few things to get right yet. But it's actually working. That's the shocker. Except for that bit. I need that bit working first. That should disappear. Alright, so communication between the server and display isn't up to scratch, and I knew that. Well, that was correct, because I knew that we hadn't set it up right. I was just guessing at numbers, really. Right, so we have a working server. Faulty, full of bugs. So dry run complete. This is day 16. Day 16. First dry run complete. Badly. I'll pop that in there as well, shall I? But that is absolutely... I'm on dependencies here. I don't want to be on the dependencies. Cut. I want to be on server. Thank you. Paste. There we go. Pop that in. Fantastic. Slight modification there. What's going on with network? Oh, I haven't finished these off, have I? Okay. That was from yesterday. There we go. Everybody's up to date now. Okay. Now, we have a working server. Now, that's unexpected. I was hoping for a failed server. But I know now that what we are receiving is a little bit garbled, to say the least. So now what we have to do is we have to look at what we're receiving and how we're receiving it, but we are. And that is on 2020. So we're receiving on 2020. Core initial game state, correct. Yeah, okay, for other users there, they're slightly different. That's okay. Update the core system. muser.position. Yeah, that's right. I'm just thinking, is that where I've messed up? He keeps going across, doesn't he? So it's been added to. He's getting sent messages of a 2. Message type 2 is the only way he can move. And that means his Y was okay, but his X wasn't. 32-bit should be okay. I think the problem's with the server then. What I just wrote in here possibly is wrong. On the core services, I think it might be what I did here. So what have we got? So that's type 0, delete user, user key, update user, user key, raw data. I altered this this add user thingy, didn't I? A 5. 5 is only happens on here, so it was safe to do so. We've got the user key, but really should it be the user? What are we reading? Why are we reading it like that? Oh yes, it's the initial position. So when we send a message type 5, what are we sending? Probably nothing. Source. Core system. Init core system. Initialize UDP, yeah. Create network interface. We do a 5. We don't send anything else but a 5. Okay. But on A2, we do. What do we send on a 2? 5, yeah, blah blah blah. Render all. On a 2, we only send 1s and 0s. So that initial position on a 5 is valueless. That can be set by the... we shouldn't be reading it. Is the answer. The server decides where we start, not us. The server will have a database eventually, of some kind, to read, and that will hold where our position was from last time we logged in. So this 5 is correct. What we've got as a mistake is the server assuming that it's being told where to start. So we can change that. That's the first thing. The server is trying to decide where we start. So core server services. Yep. This is a waste of space. There isn't any raw data to get. There's just a user key, create key, and as a user at position X, Y. So we can start these off at a standard area like 10. Let's try 10. No, don't do that. That was a bad idea. Let's try starting off at 10. Just get rid of you. 10. That's within the boundaries of the 255 thingy. And that should work then. Okay. So I expect him to... what I expect to see now... We don't need that line anymore. It's not used. What I expect to see is Bob to go from the centre of the screen up to 1010 and then slowly slide across. Okay, that's the expected result from doing that. So I will just rebuild the server and see if we get the expected results. As long as I get the expected results, I'm happy. If I get unexpected results, then I'm sad. Okay. What have we got? Actually, I think I know what's happening already. 5, 10, 10. Yeah. Did it? Yeah, it compiled, didn't it? Sorry, wasn't watching. Run build task. Server. Yeah, it compiled, okay. Wasn't watching what was doing. So, display. Come on up. I'm enjoying this, because we've actually got a final server. There he is, Bob. I'm expecting him to go to 1010, which is there. About there, and then just trickle across to about there, and then disappear. Okay? That's what I'm expecting. So I'll just pop him off. So I can make sure that the expected happens. Okay. Server, you've been changed. Good. There's our server. Quite chuffed that it's all working. Mind you, prototype 1 was pretty solid, so we didn't make any mistakes there. GUI go. And I'm right. Absolutely, he's going to disappear about here. Here-ish. Come on, plink off. Just disappear. Oh, don't, you bugger. Don't keep going. Right, so the initial starting place bug has been solved, and we now know that the whole screen is being used. Oh, W works. Look. I can't bring him any... I haven't got control of him fully yet. And everything's working at... yeah. Can you see the problem now? Yeah. We can't see through the GUI to see the screen. Don't. Well, we don't care. Oh dear, I don't know. And it takes ages to shut down still. Hey ho. Bash 2. And we haven't got our auto shutdown included. Right, so we know it's working, and it's working full screen now. So we've improved it. And it did actually react if when I pressed W, it did try to go forwards. I saw it move, but hey ho. So it is getting some kind of communication, but it is getting that +1 all the time to the right, which is annoying, to say the least. Fantastic. Right, zeros. Zeros on shutdown. On shutdown. Let's go back to here. And what are we doing on shutdown, please, on the server? So we'll go to the application first, which reads a lot better now. Shutdown. We can tell what it's doing. It's doing a shutdown of the core services. So I know that I want to add something into our core services now to shut down the display. So that's that sorted out. And core services is in shutdown. So that's at the bottom here. Is it? Maybe not. Broadcast to all. Update. Initialize. Where's shutdown? Update. Broadcast to all. What would we shut down? Oh, it's there. It just shuts down the network and quits. It does not send any kind of message to our wonderful, wonderful display. How inconsiderate. I think we should So we can basically just think about it as the same way that the GUI's doing it to the server. So how is the GUI doing it to the server? It's in core, and it's here. And all it's doing is a uint message equals a new uint. No, I'm sorry, it's not doing that anymore. Sorry, it's doing it's doing that, and we're taking that bloody star off, because it's pointless. And we're sending a log on. No, that's not the end. Where do we send the 0 then? Shutdown. Here. Here we go. So that's all we need. Is that there? So we can copy it. It should be exactly the same code that we've already written. It shouldn't be any different, and you shouldn't use anything any different. At least that now agrees with that now, which is consistency. Don't use the word new like that when it's not needed. Ah, bless you, Blades. You do come up with some goodies. So we can close all that off, and we can get back to our server, and we can do it properly now. And it was core here. We were looking at shutdown services. There we go. There we go. It's not MIP address though, is it? It's on the broadcast, and it's mDisplay IP. There we go. Pop the U in there, and everybody's a happy person. Isn't that easy? So now we have to receive that 0, the magic log off number. Okay. So let's set that done. We've now altered, and now all we have to do is display who receives it. And it's in source, I already know it is, and it's in core, and it's in core system. If message type equals 2, do that. Okay, we are going to need a bool. And it's called log off. Yeah, log off, that'll do. Equals false. Okay. So all the way through here, we're going to have log off equals false, and at the end of it, somewhere out here, we're going to say return log off, which we can't do yet, but hey ho. Log off. Okay, so that turns that into a bool. This is the update, isn't it? Yeah, that turns the update into a bool. Save. Core system update now is a bool, which is better than a void. It actually does something now which is important. If you ever see a void, by the way, it's a code smell that there's something wrong. It means there is something wrong with your system. If it isn't returning something, you've forgotten something. And it was a void, so we had forgotten something, you see. Just proved it. So, bool. Yeah, that's in the right place. Here, yeah. If, blah, blah, blah. But if our message type is equal to the magic 0, then log off equals true. Make it readable. There we go. Right, what's wrong with you? Expected a semicolon, sorry. Right, so we've now got a return value in our update course with our update core system. So every time we update, we can now detect whether we're supposed to log off or not. And we can receive that message type as a 0. It's a char star. That's interesting. I haven't put quotes around them. And it's working. Shouldn't be. Oops. Never mind. I'll sort that out in a second or two. Wonder why that is like that. It's coming back as a char star, yet it's looking for a 2. If I remember rightly, isn't that supposed to be in inverted commas? Like that. Let's just have a look at our server again. Is it doing things wrong? Because that'll confuse people. You get a char star, and you're not doing it that way. Yeah, it's doing it right. I did put the apostrophes in. Didn't do it there, which I should have done. Doesn't need it anywhere else because those are values. Those are fine. But that initial one should be a 2. Maybe that's why it's all going a bit wonky. Could be. Could be. Yeah. SDL right. Where are we reading to? In our don't go there yet. Don't go there yet. Let's just make things make sure. Just change one thing and then test. Is the answer. So we now have a log off is true. Core system. We can go back into our application. Every time we do update core system, execute app. Here we go. Update core system. We can put a bool, and we can call it log off again. May as well. Put log off equals that. Okay. What we got here? Display. No. As soon as we know, we don't render. So if log off, act on it immediately is the answer to that one. We must put is running equals false, and then we just need to return, and that returns to the top. It'll check the is running, and it will come out and do shutdown app has initialized. Shutdown. Yeah, okay. Lovely. So that should work there. All we're doing is checking it and then making sure that we come out of it. That's all we're doing there. Not a bad result. We could get rid of the log off by putting mcore system that inside of there. Yeah, I think we should. It's a small refactor, and I know I shouldn't do it, but really we don't need the bool, the extra bool. What we can do instead is cut, because that now has a value true or false. There. So we can do that. We can test whether that, because it says bool, is true or false. If it's true, then we log off. There you go. just put an extra note there, just in case you're not actually happy with the way I've written it. Some people are, some people aren't. Some people are bothered about it, some people aren't. I'm not bothered about it. I prefer it in longhand without a little silly note, because that note doesn't belong there. It belongs there. Okay. I'm going to have to do some a little bit of, how can I put it? Rebuilding. It'll rebuild itself as we go. Okay. Because we've got it set to that. Lovely. I've got the rebuild as automatic, haven't I? So display, do what you want, rebuild yourself. Let's see if you work. Error. Sorry. Cancel. Return statement with no value in function returning int. -f per message. Oh, of course, yeah. Application. 87. Really? Did I make that mistake again? Never mind. I didn't check. Oh, right. Bad continue is the key word that I was looking for. Not return. My bad. Sorry, that was my bad. That's correct now. Thank you. Thank you for spotting that. At least you're helpful. Let's go back and try again. But can we just close this first? I will have a clean start again. Whoops. We're up. Bob's in, Bob's in. Hey, go on, Bob. I wonder if he'll stand still or not. My expectations on this run is he will do exactly the same and crawl across to the right-hand side. But my expectation on shutdown is that the window will close. Yeah. Let's see if that's the difference on my expectation. So, server will pop up and hopefully nothing will close. Okay, lovely. That works. See, look. MMO server. Nice one. I'll pop you here. We'll pop you here so you can read them. And GUI. Did we touch GUI at all? No, we just copied something out of GUI, didn't we? That was it. So that's okay. There's our GUI. Put you over there. And there's our Bob doing exactly the same kind of thing. No problem. Now, this is what I want to watch. When I close the GUI, so Bob's actions are quite understandable at this point. He's not receiving the right information, which is fine. It's absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. When I close this, everything should close down. Close. Bloody hell. Look at that. That's programming for you. That is a beautiful program right there. Don't care what Bob's doing. That's it. We've won. We have won. I'm saving that. System shut down in the right order. P3, P2, P1. I don't know if you saw it, but it went through so fast. But that one went down, that one went down, and then that one went down. That was perfect. So we now have... Bloody hell. We now have... Run order. Correct. Exit button. Correct. We've got ticks over all of this. What we don't have is that dotted line correct. That is our problem there. And we need to correct data. Can I have my pen, please, to do this? I can't do this with a mouse. Sorry. You go over there. Hello, Muppet. You're hiding in the corner, are you? Okay. Fair enough. Got a pad here. Got a pad here. I've got a pen here. Does it work? Yes, it does. Correct data. Needed there. And we haven't got that. That's the cross at the moment. Not got. There you go. We haven't got the correct data going through. The correct data is definitely not there. I think I'll have a celebration drink. I've got some black burpy bubbly liquid. I'm actually so excited that that is the only problem that I knew we had in anyway, and that's the only one we have. Everything else works spot on. Look at that. That is beautiful. You can read it working. My God. Everything starts up, constructed, destroyed, shut down in the correct order. It even tells me how many number of ticks per second I've actually got on me clock. On my frame timer. Oh, yes. It opened nicely without going all over the keyboard. Glass. Listen to those bubbles. Listen to those bubbles. That, folks, on screen right now is a server. There is no program that can beat it. So go on, hack the server. Will I care? Go ahead, hack it. See what you can do. You can't do anything. You can't do anything if you hack that server. All you can do is mess me around on a program which I can close down and reopen. Because that's program 1. I'm thinking it should work if I do it, but that's a later test when I need to make each one of these independent of each other. Okay, so there is no program 1, but you still start them up in that order and you still close them down in that order, but the idea of program 1, 2 and 3 goes away. Actually, they're even numbered correctly, bash 2, bash 3. That is a goal. So if anybody hacks your server, all they can affect, they can't affect your GUI. So you are in control still. So you will have, reset display or reset server button, which will shut down your server and restart it, or shut down your display and restart it. Independently, the GUI continues. But all of these have to become independent to be able to do it, to be able to work by themselves. They nearly do. They nearly do already. I've designed it that way. And that's why there's so much duplication in code in this one and this one. Why I was able to cut code out and paste it straight in. Because it's duplication of code. And it's done on purpose. And it's good to duplicate code, not bad. Think about that. The libraries suck up most of the code duplication, which is why I created 2 libraries, one for data, one for the network, because those are the ones I don't want to duplicate the code from. That would be dangerous. So it means if somebody hacks in here and gets at my data, it won't affect the data that's in here. Clever blades. Nobody's going to expect me doing this, are they? Yes, they are. They're going to watch the video and go, oh, I can hack that. That's dead easy. Watch me do this. And then they're going to hack it and find out, oh, what can I do? Not a lot. So I'll close them down in the right order. That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Right, Bob. When you come on screen, will you stop wandering around the screen all by your little old self and just stand still? So when we're receiving, we are taking the data and we are altering something in the X direction. Or is it the Y? Y is up and down, X across. So we're adding to the X by accident. Let's have a look. Hey, display, why are we adding to the X? It'll be in core system. So muser position X equals the raw data from 1. Muser is ready, true. All users, push back, user. And that's all you're doing every time. So that raw data must be a value. It's a float. You see, it can be a float. You little awkward. Right, so the X position is moving. That makes me think raw data 1 is wrong. Okay. So I think raw data is a bit suspect. It's going into our user position, and our user position is just being read into display 2 and rendered. So here, and the user position is a prepared thing. So 0. Bob's area X is at the X position. So it can't be anywhere else. We haven't altered that position at any point. It takes a value off the server and it gives that value to Bob's area, X and Y. We haven't done Z yet because we're not in 3D. And any other users are treated the same. I think if we put any other users on at the same time, or did 2 GUIs, I wonder if we would... no, that's a bad test. We would probably get another user, but I don't think I know what's going to happen to them at this point. I want Bob to work first, and then we can get the other user to work. So there's nothing happening here. Bob's area is coming out and is going back in. While running data, blah, 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 blah. If, of course, yeah, running false, yeah, render, display, get all users. So we get all users and we render them. So we prepare them and it's given a position. The position's taken out there. So that's correct. And that's core system get all users. Which is... it's that vector that we do. Which is being pushed back and all users are being put in here. Are we receiving fast enough? That could be a problem. So let's have a look at our application. We receive data every frame. So no, we can't receive any faster. We render all every frame. And I have a delay timer in here. 5. Okay, we'll reduce you to 1. We'll make you work hard. Because you're on a separate thread, it's not going to affect any other part of our system. That delay. But I'll chuck you down to 1 millisecond just in case. That'll mean we're at 1,000 frames per no, 100 frames per second, is it? 16 times 60. Oh, God. 16 times 60. Yeah, about 1,000 frames per second. Who cares? I'm not working it out. Not in my head anyway. I've got a celebratory drink here. I'm having that. So I know what's happening in the display. It's not hard to follow at this stage. It's not complicated what's happening. The core system accepts the user data and creates our all users, and in our header file we have somebody grabbing all the users, but that's after we've created them. Remember, we can't access that whilst we're creating them. So after we've created them, we then go and grab them and send them to the display, which is a perfect system. You can't cross over and mess it up because all instructions are in line. There's no threading and there's no cock up. So there we go. It's got its own thread. Beautiful. So this is how to do it without threading, but with threads. It's a fantastic way of doing it. Because each of our systems has been given 12 threads, if you haven't noticed. I think they're only keeping 4 each, though, to work with. But I think they're given 12, so we're actually using 36 threads. And we haven't even programmed it. Beautiful. I love my system. Okay. Something's not quite right here. So when we broadcast, we are broadcasting a position. We are broadcasting the X position here. Oh, sorry, here. User's position X equals X plus 1. Where are you getting your initial value from? Why is it adding up? Does that mean the D key's down? It might do. Have I messed up the D key? I could have done, you see. It could be the GUI that's doing it. The GUI is supposed to control the movement, so we might have to trace it all the way back through to the GUI now. So this is where it comes from. So this is the other end in the server. The user's position X is given to us from here. It's in the broadcast and it's coming to the display via broadcast data, data length, and display IP, which is good. What have I done wrong? Can I see anything in here? Is there any reason for that to be added to in this statement? No. No. 2 can't overflow because it's an ASCII code now. So I haven't got the overflow on bit 0, which I could have had, which would have affected X. It would have overflowed into 1, into data position 1. But we're assigning it in the correct order, so any overflow that happens should be overwritten, and 2 would then not work. So it would stand stationary, but 2 is working, and we're getting X increased. We know it's working because he moves from the centre of the screen up to the top left. That's spot on. User position X goes back through data, doesn't it? Where are we getting user position X from? MMO data user equals element dot second. Yeah. User map. Game state data, get user map. So we're getting it from game state data. We have a game state data here somewhere, do we? Yes, we do. Right. Okay, so we're getting it from get user map. From game state data, which is inside here. And we actually have this as an object in the on the server. The get user map, again, is here. As soon as I see the word get, it's in the header. I always put it in the header so I can find it. User map is being passed through correctly. Yeah, it is. And there's only one of them. spelt it all correctly. Yes, good, right. So in here, how are we creating it? We create it by adding users. We clear the user. That's on deletion. Is that it? Okay. Do we have to delete it? That's a good point. Element 2 isn't being freed up very well, but hey ho, we've got a memory leak there. Yeah, I've got it in here. Contents are 0. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so if the contents are 0, have we still got the pointers? Yes, we have. We haven't deleted them. Yeah, it's that discussion I had the other day. Maybe we should delete the pointers. I'll put that in as a note as I'm passing through. Nothing more than a comment, so it's not going to affect the program. Good. Destroyed, okay. Add user, yeah. Update user. X position plus equals. So right equals raw data 3. Why is raw data 3 always a 1? It isn't, it's always on. Oh. Because it's an if. Doesn't matter what raw data 3 is, it can be any value above 0 or below 0, but it's not 0. Which means it can be a carriage return. And if that's the case, then I know maybe we've got a carriage return going on here. Because forwards seem to work, so it's getting that bit. I can't check backwards properly. I don't think it's getting that bit. And I think the carriage return is 2 characters. Or can be. Oh, what happens if it's a /r/n for a new line? Because it's compensating for Windows. Because that's what it is in Windows. Windows 10 anyway. And the left doesn't work at all. I tried it. Actually, we should try. No, left didn't do a thing. So I know now why it's going right. This data's wrong. Update users. That's correct. The initial values are correct. It goes to the top left and then it never goes here again. It's all to do with this. So this is the function that's causing it. And the only way this function can cause it is by bad values being placed in these. I thought I'd done them all. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, I'm going to set those individually now because of that. So that they're all 0. And they have to be 0. So we're going to do it properly. I think I skimped on that part and didn't really think it through properly. Oh well, that'll teach me. So raw data 1 needs to be 0, 0, 0, 0, and then only control it to a 1. But let's carry on. Let's carry on. That's an update. So updates are called by call services. Call services calls an update. There, with raw data. When it receives a message, notice I'm not going into the networking to have a look. A message type 2. So the message type 2 is coming through properly. Or is it? Ah. But to get an update, it has to. If it doesn't get it, what happens if I make this something silly and then run it? What happens if we never update? If this doesn't work, this function. Let's test this function. We've tracked it back to this function. So let's test to see whether this function is actually happening. That's quite easy because we can just replace that with a 9, which we don't use. So I've altered it from a 2 to a 9, which I know will never happen. So that will never happen. That's an interesting one. So let's just terminal, run build task. I was messing around in the data, so I'll just bring you up to date. Run build task. Network hasn't been touched. Correct. Thank God for that. Right. So now we're at a stage where we're trying to detect where an error is coming from. So the error is either we're sending raw data through incorrectly, or this function isn't happening. And that raw data is just not happening. And it's just adding to itself type of thing. I think it could be multiplying by itself, or stacking on itself somehow. So this is the crux. I think this will stop him dead in his tracks. I think this is the cause of him moving, that we're sending bad data through. Let's find out. So let's close down this so we don't get confused. Okay, core services, I'm going to keep you open because you're the one we're testing. Okay. And if I do run server, source, core, services, which is why I named every single one differently, by the way. You'll see that core in display was not called core services. I called it core system, that's right. I think, what do I call it in GUI? Just out of interest. I hope I didn't call it the same thing. No, I did. Stupid me. I should have called it core GUI. And core display. Darn it, Blades. You got it wrong. So there's a modification to clean up your code. Rename those two, because you've got to be able to tell which one you're in. Core system is a bad name. Just should we alter it now? Yes, we should, because we're trying to trace things. Let's run the test first, and then we'll do the alterations and run the tests again. Okay. Server, source, core, services. That's where we are. Lovely. And we'll set up the display. I love testing. People say it takes too long. I don't think so. I think if you know what you're doing, it doesn't. Does that make sense? Because if you know what to expect, I expect our little bloke to do exactly what he did last time, even though we've taken a function all the way out. My expectation is that he still moves off to the right. I think he starts in the top left-hand corner and moves off to the right. Or, the other option is he starts in the left-hand corner and stays there. So let's put a server up. So there's two options he's got now, because we're taking the function out that should move him. So he should stay there. And I think everybody can agree with that. So let's put the GUI up and find out. This is the one where it all goes wrong. and I was right. We've got no control over him whatsoever because it's not going through. So the raw data that we are sending from the GUI is incorrect. He's in the right place. His spawn point is issued by the server. That's this one. Let's arrange these properly. See how they all click together? It doesn't do that on Windows. I like the way they click together like that. It's good. It's good part of the system. Well done, Linux. You got something right. So yeah, we now know that his movement to the right stems from that function. There's no two ways about it. If I close the system down now, ding. Anytime you feel like it, system, thank you. There is a delay on that because there has to be. I've tried to cause a delay on purpose because we've got to fix it. So it's coming from here. So that can go back to a 2. So we've tracked it down that everything after this point is correct. So, well, that's what we think. So it has to come through a message type. That message type comes through the network. We think the network's correct. Should be. I wrote it. So let's go to our GUI. Something's not right with the data. And I think I know already what I've done wrong. GUI. Source. App. Where do we set the data? Here we go. It is running. Right, okay. Spotted it. Check input every 30 milliseconds. Blah, 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 blah. Send data every 30 milliseconds. Here we go. Result equals M input interface. Check keyboard, keyboard. M core system. Send message to result. Interesting. But we're just taking it as a uint result. That's wrong. That is wrong. Our send data doesn't look good. Right, what we have to do now is set it so that we have input. Check keyboard, keyboard. Okay. Input interface. Check keyboard. Okay, this is it. uint 8 input data. That's wrong. It should be sending the address back. Like that. I knew it was wrong when I wrote it. You want an address. When I wrote that in point interface, I don't like this either. I would prefer input. I know it's long-winded. I know what you might say, but that equals whatever I put. That semicolon. And then we have... Why can't I do that? Oh. My bad. Put semicolon there. And then we've got... Oh, we can just delete those because it's easy. Keep deleting. Okay. Everything's happier now. Good. And then I just I think this is simpler and makes sure of things. That is a 0. Should it be a 0 or a character 0? Now we have the question. So I'll try it on 0 first. Actually, should we try on characters? See what happens. I can't remember whether I did that if statement right or not. Okay. Input data 3 equals 0. And input data 4, isn't it? So I'm damn well making sure that every time we check the keyboard, the data is being reset to 0. Can't be anything else, but maybe I've got my 0s and my 1s all mixed up. I wonder if it's using a char star. And I haven't set it up properly, have I, for a char star? So those can only be on and off. They can't be incorrect anymore. But we could be using them incorrectly. Should we put them as ASCII code or should we not? Who's checking this? You are. If forwards equals raw data, but look, it's a char star. The plot thickens. We're doing a char star to a uint 8. Could really have bool. But that would then cause an error because they're wrong. I wonder if I get a segmentation fault. Can a bool be -1? Can a bool be higher than 1? Zero is false. 1 is true. 1 is false, or 0 is true. Oh god, I can never remember. Who cares? If it was going to do all directions at once, then yeah, it would just bugger up and just, oh, will that work? This is where we got the problem. This bit here matching this bit here. I think this should just be values. I think this should be bool. Oh, rough. I don't want to change this. Yet. Yeah, I think that's where the problem lies. It's converting a char star to a uint. 0s and 1s should work. Theoretically. I'll just make sure my D key isn't stuck. No, my D key isn't stuck. Okay. Whoops. Right. I've altered the input so that I know damn well now that right is, which one? 1, I think it is. So look, game state. Right is the third one, which is very suspect why it's chosen this one to be +1 all the time. So that is ending up true, which is 1. Not sure, not sure. Can I receive from that port without? Okay. What I'm thinking of doing is doing an intercept and reading the data to find out whether those ones are happening or not. No, I'm not going to run an intercept on this run. Okay. Terminal, run build task. I was looking and messing around in data. Okay, I didn't mess it up. Right, good. All I've changed really is the GUI to be more precise. Okay, let's get this display up. Alright, we'll tighten the circle down. Just pop you out a little bit, and you can come down to here. Okay, that's you. Server. Write a script to do all of this. There's the server. Nothing's happened. That's good. It shouldn't happen without the GUI. Oh. Oh, right, we haven't changed it all the way through. Sorry, you whoops. Don't. Cancel. We hadn't finished the change, had we? Invalid conversion, new intake. Okay, yeah. Application 82, right, okay. That's the thing we're testing. Send message to is in core system. All right. Okay. I didn't know that wouldn't convert, but anyway, can I save? Okay. Application. Yeah, can save. Yeah, you're done. Core system. You're done. No, we should just have a problem in here. Yeah, core system. Send message out. Yeah, there it is. And all we do is delete star. Alright, and everything stays the same. So, you. Alrighty. Because send data takes a uintake star anyway. Uintake star data. So why I'd messed it all around like that, I don't know. Probably just having fun at the time. So, are you still here, Bob? Yes, you're waiting. Alright, Bob's waiting. I'm going to just pop that over slightly. Bob's waiting for me to correct everything. GUI! Go! Oh, address local input data returned. Yeah, I've got to fix it. And keyboard's not working, so it's not receiving data now. That's not receiving data. What's that thing saying there? There's an error on what system? Input interface 44. Oh, why is that a problem? Oh, right. Maybe it wants that. Let's just try that. GUI, would you be more happy if I did it that way? I'm not sure actually what it did. Cancel you. It won't tell me now. I have to alter something now and get it to redo, don't I, to get the errors. Stupid, because warnings it doesn't bother with, it doesn't collect them. There we go. Hell, it doesn't like that. Hellfire, this I wasn't aware of. I understand what it is. It's saying that I've got a shallow copy going on, which means the data can be destroyed before the address is used, because it gets destroyed here. Because it's local. So really, that input data should be sent in to check keyboard. Who's checking the keyboard? Okay. Who's checking the input interface? Yeah, we're just popping. We've got result here. So really, what we could do is put comma result like that, and pass in a star uint 8. We could then come back to our interface here and say, look, can we have a, whoops, wrong key, a uint 8 star input data. I didn't realize it would cause a problem. And you would take your input data and you declare it there in your bit here, and you take it out of there, and then you define input data statically like that, and then you can just send it back, and this time it should work without any problems. So you're alright. Let's just make sure there's no problems. See if it detects anything else there. I wasn't expecting that. Interesting warning. There you go, the warning's gone. We're now correct. But we have an exception, a segmentation fault at input data 2. Because we never declared how big it was. Sorry. We're just passing an address in. We're not passing anything more in. Yes, that's correct. How do I get out of it? Here we go. Okay. So we'll fix that. That's easy to do. We just need size 5, do we? Okay. Get rid of that star. Result. Size 5. Now what's wrong with you? All right. So you're asking me to do that, then semicolon, then return, and then result. What? Must be a modifiable left value. Well, it is. Why isn't it? Interesting. So that isn't the correct. I know what is. And it is that. That's a left value. There. Oh, stop it. That's an L value. That's right, it can't. Bloody hell. All I want is the address. You can't pass variables like that. It's just not going to work. Because you don't need to, is the answer. There's no equal sign. There's no return value. We're passing result in. Result never gets taken out at the end of the thing, so there's no return value. That's why. That's void. We're just renaming it. The actual address stays the same. It never gets killed. So we can void that. And that's when you get your code smell. And we can get rid of that. You don't need to return it. You're modifying it directly, so why return it? Interesting. We then carry on to use it, don't we? Yeah. So we take the keyboard, we alter the result, and we stick the result in there. That's weird. I don't like the way of doing it, but hey ho. Let's try running it. Obviously C++ likes it. Huh? C++, you stupid thing. You're actually going to let me do it that way using a void. Wow. That's got to be the worst programming I've done today. Let's go with test time. Let's go back to testing. Come on. Come on. Alright. Did I return the server back to normality? I think I remembered to, didn't I? Yeah, we got it back to 2. Message type 2. Then update users. Yeah, okay. Fine. Application's okay. Interface is... Sorry, we're testing the GUI, aren't we? I remember now. I remember where we're up to after being distracted by a warning. Yeah, we can get away with it, but warnings? No, thank you. Never ignore a warning, ever. Treat all warnings as errors. I don't like the result of that warning, but hey ho. Terminal, just do a bit run build tasks on data. Terminal, please run build tasks on network. Thank you. We know we're safe there for the test. Nothing to be done. Okay, here goes. Display. So we put the display up first. There he is. Oh, Bob. Bob's becoming famous on the internet. I don't believe it. Hey, Bob, you're becoming famous on the internet. Oh dear. Server please. Let's have one of you. I think I'll sit down and write a script for this tonight. And what I want is a GUI. Hopefully it won't mess up now. We have a GUI. Yay. We have a Bob. We have no movement. So I think I am right with that. I think that is the cause of all our problems, is that conversion. So things aren't right there. We've finally got Bob to accept the server. The server's now communicating properly there. But what we're giving to the server from our GUI really isn't right. We've decided that that's correct. We know that the communications across from the GUI to the server are correct because we can hit that button and that will shut down. So all it is our keyboard. That goes up to 3 milliseconds there. Can I get a beep out of the system? No. So I think these are being used. I'm not getting a beep message coming up. Okay. No beep message. Alright, okay. But you can see from this that it's doing something not quite right. The way that that's stacking up. I mean, it should be about 2, 3. And it's at 4s. Come on, press the keys. Can I get it to go over something stupid? Put down a load of keys there. 3s. No, it's... There you go, 4. 4. That's it. There's an error. That's a buffer. That's a buffer clearance. There we go. That's it. That's what we have. We have a server that works. See? That's how we prove it. So all it is now is tracing through that data, the alteration of the data, and making sure that it's all sent properly. I think that is, let's get that main communication for keyboard next. All of this is now correct. Here we go. All of this is now done. First try run's done. Exit button's done. Correct data. That's where we're up to. That's done. That works. Run order works. Exit works. So it's just central core data. And I need to change the names on... Oh, I need to clear that as well. What's it called? A pipeline. Yeah, pipeline through. The main pipeline needs to be set up properly because we haven't really put one in. We just messed around. Okay, edit. Is it edit? Clear. Right, okay. Let's get the pad. That was a bit of a mess on there. Day 16 is a success. A total success. We now have a server. Okay, all we now need to do is get a proper formalized pipeline, a working pipeline. Sheesh, that's going to be fun, isn't it? Come back here, you. Oh, you're a bit far off. Right, okay. Let's see, what can we put? So the start of next week is day 17. That's next Monday. Okay, so for the next 2 weeks, what we're going to do is we are going to concentrate on that was rubbish. Clear. Let's do it properly now. I was thinking too much at the same time as trying to write. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, there you go. That's day 17. What we're looking now to do is to get more nitty-gritty with our server, get more hands-on, and start building. Well, we've got the foundation. We know that. We can start it up. We can shut it down properly. We know we have communications between each part, and it's not a problem that way because we can see the communications happening. So we don't have a problem with that. What we need to do though is we would need to build a pipeline, and we need to know how to do that. So that is what is on the cards next, is build the core pipeline. Which will go through the whole infrastructure. We need to know how to do that. And I think that we're going to be spending a little bit more time and being a bit more careful now. I will change over the names of things. So that's day 17. Over here. We were having a conflict of interests in GUI, source, core. We'll call it core system. I've got to change those names. Okay. So that needs to be changed to rename. Oh, we can do it. Good. Right, core system. Sorry. You now core GUI. Can't have you called that anymore. Big reasons for it. We're going to get very, very confused if we keep it as system. Rename. So core system is now core GUI. Yay! Right. which changes a couple of things. It changes what's in here. There. There we go. That's okay now. It also changes what we have in application. Configure your intelligent settings to find missing. Oh, get lost. Core system is now core GUI. Thank you. Configure my IntelliSense. Input, do you need it? Input doesn't do much. It just does input. That's fine. Makes it nice and easy. That's done, that's done, that's done. Pro. GUI. GUI. That's that done. That's everything. That's all it needed. Make sure that your application can use it properly. Oh god, it's still called core system, isn't it? No, I'm just going to change the name. It can be core system inside, I don't care. Bit confusing, might change it later. But that's all I need to do to start off with. And we had the same with display. Core. Yeah. So all I'm going to do is change the name to core display. Do it the same way. I mean, internals can be done after, but I just want the externals done to start off with, because that matters to me. To my mind, anyway. Otherwise, I'm going to get confused with what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's your display. Done. Yeah, you're wrong. See, we can change all of these as well to core display. But I might do by tomorrow. See what I feel like tonight. Yeah, I don't know why that does that automatically, but it shouldn't. Because we haven't changed it. We've still got it called class, core system. So what's it on about? Just because I've changed the name. Get rid of you. GUI. Display. Done. Save. Goes mental. Done you. It's like having everything called application, but I understand why I've done that. Application.h. You don't exist anymore. You do now. And look under display just in case I've used it. Shouldn't have done. Haven't done. That's good. We haven't crossed over. That's good. Can't cross the beams, I think they say. Yeah. Everything should be fine. I haven't changed Display Pro. Here we go. Makes more sense now. It made sense anyway, but it's just a conflict of interest. Like this application, I really should call this Display 3D, and I should really call the other one GUI. You know, it's... I don't know. Make sure everything works. We've just changed run build task. Yeah, everything's changed. So GUI, do you still build? Yeah. Terminal, run build task. Display, do you still build? Yeah, right, I can change the internals after. I might do that by myself because we're already up to 20 here. So this is now day 16 tested. Day 16 fully tested needs a pipeline, data pipeline, a data pipeline for the keyboard input. Start up and shut down are working as intended. That's it. What am I on the MMO network? Right, okay. We didn't change that, unfortunately. Right, so server, you're done. Thank you. You're done. Thank you. You're done. For now. I'll come back to you, Mr. Data. You're done. Because it's all centralised at how we want to pass the data. I think that's this is like a big decision time in design of how you want to design your server, because we do have the data as a library. We have opened up 1,000,001 different ways of being able to do what I want to do next, which is transferring data from here, from the GUI through the server, which has to agree to the data, and then onto the display, which shows the data. So do we want a central point of data is now the problem, or do we want to carry on passing data from one to the other, like Leapfrog? So I'll put those two choices down. I'll put them on here. So a centralized data center. Oh, centralized data core. Or can't really have a data center because it isn't full of people. Or do we want to use like Leapfrog? Data 1 to next program. I mean, there's two. That's the base two variations that I can think of offhand. I'll probably think of more, and that's why we have to stop today. But we stop on day 16 with a working model, a working prototype. Prototype 2 is a success. So that's how we're going to start in day 17 with a successful model. I'll have a look at it over the weekend, obviously, because the weekend's coming up. Tomorrow is chilling out with Blades. I am thinking of XCOM. Doing a bit of chilling out, just playing XCOM or something. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I might just do a bit of UO and just really chill out on my server. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm really, really happy. It's taken me 2 hours to do the testing. It's all fully tested, and I'm happy with the results. As for everything else, next week is going to be ace. Because by the end of the next phase, which is phase 3, is we're looking at adding functionality, features So that's the next 2 weeks. So day 17 features. And the first feature that we're going to look at is the core feature of a server, which is the passing of data. And that's what a server does. It stores data and it dishes data out. How it does that is up to the server. So it's going to be interesting. It is really going to be interesting. We're going to be possibly changing the core of the server to accept data properly and then dish out data properly and make sure that the senders and the receivers of this data are sending and receiving properly. And that will then be our core pipeline, as it were. Once we've got that in place, we're off. We're off to the next feature. So that's feature 1. I'll pull that there. Feature 1, build the core pipeline. Yeah. Wow. I can't actually believe we've got Bob on the screen and reacting to the server. That is fantastic. So, in our next episode, day 17, that's Monday, we've got the whole weekend. What we got this weekend? I don't have me sticky notes on Linux, they're only on Windows. We've got Chilling with Blaze tomorrow, if I can make it online. Saturday, I don't know if I've got a rant or a rave to do, or just a questions and answers to do or anything, so Saturday's like a freebie. Sunday is Sunday sailing with naval action. That's always going to happen, and we're going to try for the next level so I can sail big ships, well, frigates, bigger ships. I'm going to try for promotion on Sunday. That'll be fun. And then Monday, well, it's in front of you. Build a core pipeline. Not a lot to do on that because I think we've actually already got it, but we might just need to refine it slightly because there's some things in there that look a little dodgy still. But otherwise, I'm happy. In the meantime, I'd like you all to have a good weekend. I'd like you to take care. I want you to keep programming, obviously, and exploring how you can do things. Maybe look at how to transfer data efficiently. That's always been a problem with computers. So, we'll be looking at that next week. But above all, over this weekend, just make sure you have fun.